So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
Well, hello again, folks. Welcome back to Flying with Mike. Took a little break there, had some dinner, did some pre-flighting, changing aircraft, all that fun stuff we love to do here. We are firing up for Sim Air Force. We're about close to an hour late, but it takes a little bit to get these pay-wear aircraft ready to go. And this one is now ready to go. We're flying the Rotate MD-11 out of Laughlin Air Force Base over to Joint Base New Orleans. World Air Cargo. Don't know why anyone won't do World Airlines on the passenger. Would have loved to have flown that one. Never seen this one in real life, but I have seen the World Airlines a whole bunch. All right, so let's kind of brief this up so I can play catch up. They're going to beat me by 1.5 miles, 2 miles, so no biggie. But we are online with Sim Air Force, loving it. We've got everything working. Hopefully, we're not going to run into any errors here. It's first flight with 1.4 in X-plane for the MD-11. And if you remember, when we were in 1.3, we were getting a lot of errors. So hopefully they don't follow us. Okay, let's bring Sim Toolkit in here and we're going to get underway. Word of warning about, well, you're going to see a couple different things here. First off, if you do an exclamation mark route, you're going to get that, which translates to that on the screen. No. Absolutely not. Let me show you what that did translate to. Here's Sim Brief. Let's view save flights and view the flight plan. That's what that all looked like. Basically, I have no idea what the heck the military was doing on that one. But who knows? You know, it is what it is. So what we did, we kind of made it, hang on, San Antonio, SAT VOR, get on the Q56 airway over to PEKON, and then direct for the ILS runway 4. That's the simplest, and it would not format into the aircraft in that format. What that format is you take a VOR, shoot a fix outbound off of it, however miles. So it's the NavAid, which all of those were VORs, the outbound radio, so flying out from it, and then the next 3 numbers, then the next 2 numbers, how far. So yeah, wow, welcome to how the military likes to fly. Complicated. Hey, it's the government, what do we expect? So anyway, sorry, I couldn't resist. That one was just, wow, what a softball, maybe even a watermelon in front of me to smash over the fence. How big that one I set myself up for. So anyway, that's pretty close to how the route actually will look, what you see on your screen. All right, up here, 24 people dared to fly. Oh, man, these yawns are killing me. 133,220 pounds of payload. We got a block fuel of 40,559. And then a cost index for the flight, 90. And we get up to 37,000. Woohoo! We only got to 19 last time. And before that, we never made our cruise altitude. They kept holding us, doing this, doing that. That was, if you do get a chance, watch the YouTube video out Hamburg to Salzburg. Oh my gosh, what a phenomenal flight. I rate that up there with Berlin to Amsterdam. Just phenomenal, folks. Great ATC, great traffic. Oh, what a bunch of fun. I hope you all got enthused to try to give VATSIM a try during our daytime here in the U.S., mainly afternoon. And give it a try, folks. Yeah, I know there's a lot of controllers and a lot of pilots. But you know what? Come 4, 5, 6 o'clock at night until 8, 9, 10 o'clock my time, guess what? There's a lot of pilots and a lot of controllers usually up here in the States. So it's, you know, and it's interesting to learn the new different ways of doing air traffic control and the flight rules. So it's always fun. And I really hope that inspired you. Because it sure me, because we're going to do it again. So, but that's our loadout weather. Really, it's overcast 600 here, 12 degrees and 10 degrees, and the winds are 130 at 5. I bet you can't guess what runway. Sure you can, 13. And just beautiful. There is a SIG. Huh. Wonder what that's for. Anyway, down in New Orleans, they're actually at 55 degrees. Melting all of that snow. Ugh. Calm wind, 10-mile visibility, and there is no clouds except at 25,000. So beautiful run into New Orleans. And now, we are not going to New Orleans per se. We are going to Joint Reserve Base New Orleans. It is the military base. I believe southeast of the airport, if memory serves. So little different perspective coming in here. We'll see if we get any ATC. All right, so let's get to rumbling. Like I said, this airplane's ready to go. Couple of caveats you need to know about rotate and the MD-11. Okay, the first one comes in and loading. Loading, it's a piece of cake. However, the caveat here is that takeoff CG, TO-CG below the chart, has to be between 30% and 31%. Still haven't tested it to see what the heck happens if it's outside that. The passenger, same thing, even though it's a slightly bit newer. Haven't heard any difference, so I assume the same. But good luck getting it up to 31%, because you won't. It'll go red before then. Also, just a note, if you want your landing weight, you have to put in your trip fuel. So block fuel you can find on SimBrief, your flight plan. Taxi fuel, you can find it in your fuel information in the actual flight plan. Drop down a little lower, you'll see preview flight plan. Check it out there, you'll find it. Trip fuel. On your SimBrief, it is your en route fuel. So just so you've got some terminology understood. Okay. Hey, Nick Grassy, hey, welcome back. Well, glad to hear you love our streams. Hope this one's right up there for you. Now, lastly, this little button here that you're seeing highlight, apply load configuration to the aircraft, FMC, all of that good stuff. Guess what? Exactly what it says. It loads your aircraft and the data needed on your FMC. So you don't have to go through clicking. It's already there. Now, if you want to go to ground ops after you're done with this page, click load aircraft. Sure, you're welcome to it. But for us, we're closing up the main door, pulling that stair set away, and in a few moments, we shall be firing up those engines. And then basically what I do, follow a checklist that I don't know if it comes with it, but it did in one of mine, the checklist that in the MD-11. It really does help, and if you do the tutorial flight a couple times as printed, and then a couple of times pick your routes, but use your own data, and you can learn this plane pretty easy. Last tip. When you look at that, what I see is Airbus, not McDonnell Douglas, although I think the two were pretty close. You have your block here for electrics, air, fuel. Now, granted, they're not in the same locations, but I see Airbus, but I see it more with this little device, the McDoos. I mean FMCs. Very similar. Only difference is the perf page will not get you this. It's the takeoff approach. That's McDonnell Douglas. So hang on, we'll get that set up. F plan works just the same way. You click the airport, you put in the SID, you decide SID or arrival. than your runway, than your actual. Like I said, if you know how to fly an Airbus, guess what? You've now mastered most of this plane. Not all of it. There are things about it that will frustrate you, will make you take heed and go, what? What? What did it just do? Why did it do that? You know, those things will happen with it, as with any aircraft. But keeping in mind that a very, I like to call it the Airbus 11, much to the chagrin of Boeing people. Boeing people need to know Boeing inherited this plane, which became a great plane for the cargo companies. Bombed with the airlines. The airlines just, there was so much with it they did not like when they put it to practice. They basically threw them out to the desert and put a fire sale on them, so to speak, and lo and behold, the success of the MD-11 came as the cargo companies gobbled them at such dirt cheap prices and figured out what they couldn't figure out, I guess, because they still fly them today. Not as many, but they are still in operations. So anyway, that's enough chit chat. Let's start this baby up, shall we? All right, we're to the engine start. If you have the MD-11 quick reference checklist that is in the tutorial folder. So we're with the parking brake on. That's a little tricky devil for me. May not be for you. Seat belts, they're up top here. Oh, cut it out. There we go. Beacon, emergency lights on. Switch. I don't get why the double redundancy here, but it's got to be for something. Doors and windows, double check outside. All looks good to go except those big yellow chocks that need to go. Fuel panel and air panel ready to go. We'll call for pushback. Nah. Ooh, we're actually in the fog. Ooh. And we're ready to go. Transponder. All right, one other quick note on this plane. I'm glad we got down here. I'm going to go ahead and set that to TARA. Your radios, very similar to Flight Factor, couple of others. Make sure your X-Pilot has TX, RX on COM 1, COM 2, RX highlighted. Make sure they're highlighted. Lastly, make sure Mode C is highlighted. How you see my panel is how you get it there. Microphone here, and both of these turned on and turned up. Ran into that problem where I thought just getting them turned on, they were no longer highlighted. We were good to go. Oh, center heard me. I couldn't hear them. Turn them up. Now, if they're too loud or stuff, you can turn it back down to a reasonable level. But really, seriously, turn them up or you will not hear them. And you'll think, what's wrong with my X-Pilot? It's not. It's you. Remember, most errors that occur in a computer are user-driven. Garbage in, garbage out. Believe me, I'm very good at that. All right, so let's get after it. Transponder set. Let's go with, when it says engines ignition, they're talking here, A or B. I'm going to go with B. You can just see everything changed up here. Packs went off. Things got ready for the engine start. Fuel pumps readied. It's kind of like turning the switch to ignition start, you know, on the mode select in the Airbus. Kind of similar. I think the 300 has this kind of on it too. And I think a lot of this came off actually the 300. 320s and 330s were not around yet. However, the 320s were not far off. Okay. Let's make sure we're on engine here, and we are. We are ready to crank them up. So, coming down. First thing we want to do, hang on, it's going to be a pain. I love it when it's a pain. There it goes. You just want the light to come on, and then you watch to when it crosses that teal line. I usually, though, wait till about 17, 18, 19%, then give it the fuel. Now you see all the gauges coming up. No pushback today. We're just going to go straight. Let's go ahead, pull the chocks, though. Okay, I guess I'll have to go there. And you can see everything up here. This is really nice that they've added this. All right, let's get over here, get number uno started. Same thing. Now, I will say there's a piece of equipment on here. It will make you go, what was McDonnell Douglas thinking? Or smoking? Who knows? All right, we're just about stabilized on number 1. All right, let's fire up that last engine. What do you say? All right, so the sequence rotate tells you is 3 1 2. So you're going with the usual of the day. First officer, right side of the aircraft, fire that one up first. Then they want you to fire up the left side, pilot side engine, then the center. I don't know if there truly is a set sequence on this plane. I truly don't know that. Because most aircraft you really can set 1, 2, 3. But you know, some of the older aircraft, you needed number 3 going first because of a lot of the equipment being on it. Generators, hydraulic pumps, and all of that. And it looks like Houston Center has joined the action to tell me you are not going the way you filed. Are they in my area? Well, I'll be doggone. They are. I didn't even know that. All right, so 130,275. Okay. Okay, we're all fired up. Let's continue on. All right, back up to the top here. Windshield defogger on. I'm going to go ahead, turn the engine and cockpit on to normal.
Citation 4, Papa Flagship, expect PDT.
And let's see, any ice. APU can be shut off. Let's just do it the easy way. See if that does it here momentarily. And what else do we got? Okay. Let's go to config. Now, on this page, a couple things. We need to look over here, see what our stab trim, stab next to flap is, 4.8. So we make that read 4.8. All right, then let's go ahead, check our surfaces while we're here. All right, while we're at it, drop down, set auto brakes to takeoff, and go to the engine page. Okay, we'll see if that spools down here. Oh, it is. Okay. Confirm takeoff data 134 145 157. All good. All right, here we go. Houston Center, reach 18 at Laughlin Air Force Base. Request clearance to Joint Reserve Base, New Orleans.
Last aircraft calling, say again.
Houston Center, this is reach 18 requesting clearance as filed.
Reach 18 Houston Center, clearance from request standby number 1.
Just in the outside chance we may be told to go to CTAF, I got that available, 19.6.
United 2456 on departure, turn left turn heading 360, runway 15 left, clear for takeoff.
Huh?
Reach 18 heavy clearance advisory, ready copy.
Reach 18's ready to copy.
Reach 18, Houston Center, you're cleared to the Kilo November Bravo Gulf Airport, radar vectors to San Antonio, then as filed. Maintain 5,000, expect flight level 3701 units after departure. Departure frequencies with me, squawk 4764.
Cleared to Kilo November Bravo Golf, vectors to San Antonio, initial climb 5,000. Expects 37010 after, 4764 in the box, and we're ready to taxi.
And reach 18, you can expect your runway, looks like 13 or 13 center is going to be best, taxi by Alpha.
Via Alpha, and we'll be using 13 center for the length.
And 2056, you remain space in North Fort Worth is offline, radar service is terminated, frequency change approved.
Overseer, copy at 2056, see ya.
All right, what is going on here?
SIMAF 406, appellate discretion to send maintain level 240.
Okay.
And 2046, radar contact, say altitude.
Okay, let's set our flaps. Here's the laughable thing.
And
Dial a
2456,
flap.
Roger,
1-800 call,
maintain
dial
level
a flap, and you
340.
can get your flap setting. Where were they thinking? I mean, it looks like an interesting system, but it cracks me up every time I gotta use it. One 800 dial a flap. I don't think I'm on Alpha. I will double check. And I do not, I'm still thinking it's a little too sensitive right now with the bigger aircraft. Oh,
1460, Houston Center, right in.
technically. Oh no, we're, huh. That's an interesting sign it or ramp marking. It's not the movement area on that side, and it's not the movement area in the middle. I mean, it's the oh yeah. All right, flaps are at 15. Auto flight EAD. Why aren't we getting the autopilot to shut down?
That's 859, expected PDC.
It's off. Sorry, folks. There it goes. It got hung. And Houston Center reach 18's ready to go at Laughlin.
And reach 18, fly runway heading, runway 13, good takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway heading, reach 18. All right, now the EPU is shut down.
Southwest 2376, descend maintain 3000, expect vectors for the ILS 18 left approach. 4948 Houston Center, ident. United 408 radar contact 250 miles southeast of the Leeville VOR file 370, squawk 2712. Citation 4 Papa Foxtrot runway 18 left, taxi Alpha.
Center, reach 18s out of Laughlin through 4,000 for 5,000.
Reach 18 Houston Center, radar contact, clear direct San Antonio, VOR, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Direct San Antonio VOR up to 37,000, reach 18.
So 2376, fly heading 290. SIMAF 46, descend and maintain 11,000, the New Orleans altimeter 0016.
All right, we are on our way, as they say. Direct San Antonio.
2376, flighting 200, join the localizer.
Always love performing that MD-11 climb where it almost looks like it's rocketing up. MD-80s are known for that too. Just love that maneuver. It's actually more impressive to watch it in person like I have with the KC-10s and the MD-11s that frequented the airport I used to work at. And wow, impressive to watch something that big standing on its tail.
406, when able, say approach and request.
$10,000.
So 2376, 2 miles from R2, maintain 3,000 until established on the lights are cleared. I was from left approach, running light left, clear to land. So 406, roger, clear direct the airfield, descend and maintain 4,000.
Getting a little noisy. Oh, we're on our way, folks. Looking at, what do we got?
Yeah, 3992 to Houston, altimeter 3010.
About an hour and a half to get there, folks. We'll get a little quicker as we get higher. Probably. So we'll see how this works out, but we're on our way.
So that's 859.
Why is the APU on?
Coming to taxi, expect her 18 right. Citation 4 Papa 5 shows ready to go when he lands. Foxtrot, hold position.
Roger.
Alright, 2456, Mars space to north, Fort Worth, Laughlin, radar search, terminate for exchange frequency.
2456, yeah.
All right, there we go, and we're on a Hawker.
6566, how's the approach request for Corpus when able?
No, I love the MD-11 climb. The MD-80 can look the same.
If we can get the RNAV for 1-3, and then we'll touch down somewhere around Bravo 1 and just taxi the ramp from there.
I've always loved watching the KC-10s and the MD-11s do their takeoffs, where they almost stand on their tail.
And you said you want the RNAV 1-3?
Yeah, RNAV 1-3, please. We see it's low IFR right now, so we'll give it a shot, and if that doesn't work out, we have a backup plan.
But welcome in, Hawker. Nice to see you out there and hear that you're still kicking about.
66 for now, clear direct Jagru, send maintain 2,500.
Right, direct Jagru down to 2,500, Coast Guard 6566. And Houston Center, United 3992.
Yeah, 3992,
Yes, sir. I know I'm flying the A-left transition, but any chance for A-right?
Yeah, I just want to get you over top of the airport. It's going to give you A-right.
Okay, cool, thanks. I'll expect A-right, but we're flying the A-left transition. United 3992, thanks.
Well, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome. And again, folks, if you haven't followed Hawker 125, give him a follow. You never know what the guy's going to be doing over there. But the big thing is you can keep up on his project, the Hawker 125 in his garage. No, although he probably would love to make it actually fly, he's going to try and make it fly on flight simulators. And don't know when, but he is, so just give him a follow. Follow his, what he's doing with it, and hopefully one day we'll see it flying. And I see Nick Grusta just followed Hawker. Thank you, sir. I'm sure he appreciates it too. And also, Hawker 125 is one of our moderators on the channel. So again, he much appreciates y'all when you follow him.
Bravo and Gulf is good.
Hello, and Delta for 2076.
I'll be doggone, the APU's back again. Okay, we're not going to be able to get rid of it, so. All right, open the bomb bay, drop it out. If only that easy.
Helicopter 6566, cross Jagger 2000.
All right, through the next layer of clouds, headed towards San Antone.
Hi, Jagger 2100, clear 9-nav for 1-3, Coast Guard 6566.
Citation 450 Fox, radar contact altitude.
1,200 coming for.
Citation 450 Fox, Houston Center, roger, clear rectum use, Columbia maintain flight level 430.
Direct to Muse 430, citation 4 Papa Foxtrot.
This has been a really great day of flying. If you all get a chance, watch later on the video out of Hamburg to Salzburg. Oh my goodness, what a
2124
great
departure, turn left,
departure
left turn heading 020,
out
runway
of
15 left,
Hamburg
clear for
with
takeoff.
top or bottom to top ATC, traffic like a real operation out of there. I mean, unbelievable. That is why so many people love VATSIM, what we saw there. And just remember this, folks. The intensity that was there was one, partially from an event, two, evening hours, that's their night over there when we took off. So, you know, it's just like Atlanta and all of those centers in the U.S. that come up in our evening here in the U.S. It was the same there. What a fantastic job each and every one of them did. Very helpful, because I wanted to make sure I did everything as they described. And as you heard, ask questions if you don't know. They'd prefer answering them before you make the mistake. So, and for those who think they know how to fly in Europe, but have only stayed in the United States, enjoy, try that. Most of it will work, but they will catch you off guard. There's a lot of things that are different over there.
Get your runway 22, clear for the visual approach, runway 22, clear to land.
So, but what a phenomenal flight that was, and the one that came after. So, unfortunately, we did not stream or put that up to YouTube. So that's a Twitch only flight. This I plan to put up to YouTube sometime, and hope y'all enjoy. But this one is going just as well also. So, sounds like a pretty good controller on, not like one we had a few weeks ago. So, he's doing a great job. And we've hit 37,000.
Houston, United 2124 Heavy through 1,800 for 4,000, turning 020.
All right, let's see if we do have any kind of weather. I didn't turn the weather radar on.
Direct Kentucky, climb flight level 330, United 2124 Heavy.
Okay. Terrain, weather, don't see anything just yet. But you can see San Antonio probably about 40 miles ahead of us. Oh, there we go. Now we got some weather. So, shouldn't be, well, we could pass some stuff east of San Antonio. We'll see how that generates up. For now, enjoy the ride. The ride to Nawlands.
And 2124, if you can, maintain 6,000 for a second.
No problem. We're about to blow through it, but we'll hold for you.
And 3992, maintain 8,000.
8,000, 3992.
Okay, looking ahead, we do have some storms intersecting our track up here, so kind of see how that plays out.
United 2124, climb maintain flow 330.
Climb flight level 330, United 2124 Rabbit.
Yeah, my apologies, I completely forgot about that.
No worries, worked out just fine.
United 3992, descend to maintain 4000, expect vectors for the ILS right 8 right approach.
Down to 4000, 8 right approach, United 3992. Hey, it was a pretty cool sight.
Last aircraft calling, coming in 2x5.
All right, we got about 47 minutes till we scoot over to New Orleans and get set up for that runway 4 approach. Enjoy. Love to hear from you in the chat area. So please let us know about you, where you're from, and we'd love to pass along. The Discord channel is always available, and just come on over.
3992, fly heading 180.
180, United 392.
Well, just took a look at the radar. Woo! Getting a little ugly ahead of us. Ugly. May have to turn that seatbelt sign on. Alright, one thing I did not start again. Let's try it again on the fly.
And 3992, fly heading 100, join the localizer.
Heading 100, join localizer, United 3992.
And 408, Lima airspace to the west, to the east, Miami's offline, radar service terminated, for exchange approved. And 2124, Lima airspace to North Fort Worth is offline, climb maintain below 390, we'll see you have the one.
Alright, climb flight level 390 and on to advisory, United 2124. Have a great one.
You as well. Citation 4, Papa Foxtrot, Lima airspace to North Fort Worth is offline, radar service terminated, for exchange approved, we'll see you.
8 4 Papa Fox, have a great night.
And 3992, overhead of rain, maintain 4,000 till established on localizer.
Okay. Some of it is showing up.
Maintain 4,000 till established, cleared for the ILS runway 8 right approach, also cleared to land runway 8 right, United 3992.
American 1468, send me the port of 1 around San Antonio, altimeter 3001.
All right. Wow, that was a shocker that we got this kind of weather. Well, we'll just scoot through the top of it. So far, I don't... we'll set the seatbelts on. But again, hope you all had a great Tuesday. Azul! Woohoo! Bumpy! Welcome, sir. Welcome aboard.
Fly heading 200, runway 18 right, clear for takeoff.
Fly heading 200, Southwest 859, clear for takeoff. Right.
And for those that missed it, we had an interesting fun fact. The average person from Sweden eats about 22 pounds of chocolate per year. We have a couple Swedes who follow us. We'll have to find out if that's true or not. I have a feeling that answer would fit not just Sweden, but many countries. Our insatiable enjoyment of chocolate. America, baby. Oh, if I say what I'm going to say, boy, am I going to hear it from some. But boy, the women of America could easily hit that number, I think. I can already hear the frying pans smashing at me. Because women love their chocolate. But let's be honest, many men do too. Oh, man. Well, I'm going to get myself in trouble. We need a different fact. Oh. I'm not going to say that I love chocolate because I can actually go without it. But I enjoy when I do eat some chocolate. It's nice, but I don't really seek it out. And usually it's around, I mean, I love Hershey bars, do not get me wrong. But again, I mean, I've got several in the cupboard right now, but you can ask my wife, it might be a couple months before I eat them. So, but they are great when I do eat them. But more like chocolate covered donuts or Twix, chocolate covered crunchy bar. Stuff like that. All right, we are on our way. Still getting tossed about. Oh, by the way, Azul, if you're still here, how did you like 1.4? Since you were pretty adamant not wanting to fly it? Ooh, we are getting into some real good chop here.
Houston Center, radar contact, clear direct Monkey, climb and maintain flight level 300.
And Kit Kat as well. I hear them cupboards slamming in the background, folks, as you get your candy fix. Oh, we've really hit some chop. Not as bad as what we had into Amsterdam that one night. The autopilot was disconnecting all the time. That was a couple months ago. Ooh. I must say, again, it's a nice effect. I don't know if it's, again, I don't know the severity that we're in, but this turbulence and the bouncing of the cockpit's pretty intense. All right, welcome back, folks, who were at the ad. One way.
Houston Center, Coast Guard 6566, just checking landing clearance for 13. 3992 clear from way 8 right.
Coast Guard 6566, I didn't forget about your 13 clear land.
13 clear land, Coast Guard 6566.
Sorry about that.
92, welcome to Houston, safe parking.
Charlie 10.
992, Roger, Charlie 10, Vino for Bravo, see you, good night.
Alright, November Bravo, Charlie 10, have a good one. Yeah, 3992.
Rage 18, I'm going to be closing up here shortly. Monday to come on 22.8, we'll see you in a meeting.
I think he just said me.
That was 859, I'm closing up here. Radar service terminate for exchange approved, we'll see you, have a good one.
Going over dark side, thanks for ATC Southwest 59, see you.
Coast Guard 6566, I'm going to be closing up radar service terminate for exchange approved.
Over the dark side, Coast Guard 6566, thanks you.
There's not aircraft on Houston Center's not close, see you.
Have a good night. Reach 18 Unicom. All right, just as we get through the turbulence, they go offline. All right, hang on a second. I'm going to close my door so people can sleep. Hang on a second. We got the little one tonight, so he should sleep. But last time she was up at 4:30 in the morning. Y'all know 10-month-olds how they can be finicky on when they'll sleep and when they won't. So she's getting some sleep so she can take care of her, and I've got dog duty. So he's been up and down all through nights too. Fun times with the flying with Mike household. Wow, a lot of storms. Where in the heck are these? I mean, I know where they're coming from, but you would think by Houston we'd be breaking through. Holy mackerel. All right, folks, this is a Sim Air Force event, and we are flying basically in a craft operation here. But if you're interested flying for a virtual special ops group, hey, give us a try. icrew.simairforce.com, and we'd love to have you aboard. Now, what does a virtual special op group do? Well, we're really no different than any other virtual airline out there, with one huge exception. We're able to operate in those military areas. We're able to go and do dogfighting, bombing, air refueling, formation, flying, escorts. We're able to have events where we employ weapons. Believe it or not, you can do that on VATSIM. The more these sims have evolved, the more they allow us to do. Air refueling used to be at a mile. You'd get in, you'd be considered connected. I think today you can get, and if you have the boom, hook onto it and see it. That's what was hilarious. When I first started with virtual or with Sim Air Force, you were looking, your plane would be like, it looked like it was hooked, but if you looked outside, you were like, or from their airplane, you were a mile away. Same thing with, air-to-air engagements. You would be considered when you're in the scope, in target, and guns, missiles. So a whole new world has come about. And I've heard some chatter, can't confirm any of it, but we may have or be starting one soon, those of you into DCS. Don't look for me there. I fly cargo, folks, and there's really, the C-130's either there or coming, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. So a lot of reasons, not going to get into them. But for Sim Air Force, I highly recommend. We got a great group of guys, gals there with us. We enjoy. We haven't really had any all-out events like Red Flag or some stuff we used to do over in the Koreas and around different areas. But we may start into that. I don't know. So now is the time to get in. Yeah, you're going to have to do some training. There are rules. VATSIM requires us to follow while we're on VATSIM. You're not allowed to go up and shoot tubs like this. Escorts are, again, you have to be a virtual special op group. So once you're with us and you've been trained up, you're able to fly these missions, but again, with the understanding what goes with it. So, but check us out, icrew.simairforce.com, icrew.simairforce.com. It's a great group. We talk of a new website, look to it coming, and can't wait. I mean, I've been here a long time, folks. I think I've done the arithmetic, and I'm close to 20 years with the group. So, been here a while. Seen us all over the place with it. So, through some great times, through some bad times, and things are picking back up again here. So it's been, it's just like any other virtual group. You got your roller coaster, your highs, your lows, your mountaintops, your valleys, and we're coming up, and we'll have some fun, folks. I guarantee you will. We even do hurricane hunting. That season comes in a few months, so technically you're not supposed to fly on those unless you're with a virtual special operations group. I know they kind of allow that one to get bent, but yeah, I've flown. Oh man, I love flying on them in VATSIM, especially if you have active sky. At least the active sky of old. I can't speak for what active sky became with the new sims. So, but anyway, I hope you check us out. It is a really good, great bunch, great software. We're on smart cars. Not sure how that relates to weapon employment and all of that, but for these events, we're not supposed to fly in formation or in mission style. So we just fly them, just like instead of flying a 737 between points, you can fly an F-35, F-22, F-16, B-1, B-2, B-52. And I was close. I wanted to check this plane out. A couple of things I'm testing out on it for myself, not for anyone else. And so far so good, knock on wood. So mentioned them at the beginning of the stream, so we'll just pray for a good wheels on the runway landing, and see what's in store for the following week's event. I did truly try to get up at the time they wanted us to start, but a lot of things going on here, especially with the 10-month-old and all, so kind of prevented me from. Alright, so I'm going to sit back here for the next few minutes. Actually, I'm going to start looking to see where top of descent is. How about 82 miles away? Ooh. All right, so we are still headed for PEKON, right? Yeah. Getting back in another storm. You know what? Just to be safe, let's get that engine ice on. Get it all on. Okay, top of descent's now on. All right, so what we're gonna need to do. Okay, so we're looking at flaps 35, 154, 149. Okay, we're going into joint base on a 10,000 foot runway, so okay, we're ready there. We'll set the altimeters when we start our descent, and we checked our landing data, 151. We'll check it more as we get closer. All right, we are slowly approaching top of descent. About 30 miles, 40 miles out ahead of us. We'll get past PEKON and pretty much start our descent. Runway 4 at Joint Reserve Base, Laughlin. home of Bourbon Street, and 10 inches of snow. Boy, I don't show this weather anywhere on the charts. Holy mackerel, this must... Really wild that we've got storms like this all around us. That's fine. Yeah, we'll take it in. Hopefully, like it shows here, at about just about 40 miles ahead of us, we break free and a little easier in. All right, PEKON, we're getting ready to cross. Headed direct to Joint Reserve Base. Actually, we're headed to Mississippi. And the initial for runway 4. About, I'll say 20 minutes till arrival. Could be in and around 16. But let's prepare for descent, shall we? Okay, Miss B, we need to be 2,000 or higher, descending to 1,500 feet. I'll take this weather. Okay, starting our descent. Got about 140 miles to the airport. Cut it off a little bit, about 120, and we'll be on the ILS. Few more cells to go through, but we're just about ahead of the storms here, unless of course there's a lot more ahead of this. That's okay. Current weather, 9-mile visibility, scattered at 15, overcast at 25. So getting a little bumpy again, as Azul said earlier. All right, we're descending into New Orleans, Joint Reserve Base. Now, I mentioned when I was talking about Sim Air Force, again, they're at icrew.simairforce.com. If you want to become part of a virtual special op group, we'd love to have you. But we're flying a craft mission, Civil Reserve Air Fleet. What that is when the military can't handle the requirements that need to get equipment, people, and such to different areas of the world or country here. They call about the craft airlines. There's procedures and all of that in the real world they have to go through. But the cargo, those guys, because a lot of stuff now actually is in the reserves. So they may or may not have crews and such on active duty to, you know, hey, you, Joe Schmo, get your butt on the plane, get going. No, they may take a little bit. Here they can employ the craft airlines. They can come in, pick up the load, shuttle it where they need to go. So, and that's kind of what we're simulating here. We're hauling roughly 30,000 pounds of cargo into the New Orleans area. Looks like we're not going to see these storms leave anytime soon. So that's what this craft is. We utilize them here. Now, MD-11s could substitute for KC-10s. Problem is the KC-10s are pretty much heading to mothball. They are replaced by the KC-46, which is the 767 new tanker the Air Force has. I was hoping they'd go with the 777X, but I guess because it's not operational, they had to go with it. And just remember, the KC-46 modified 767-200, not a 300, but you're more than welcome here to fly the 300. And they actually do have them now for it, for Flight Factor 767 in X-plane. They're actually pretty nice, except no boom. That's the bad thing. No refueling boom on the rear. Problem is somebody would design one and then they go, well, why won't it go down? Yeah. You know those people. So can't ever please everybody. So all right, so we're now through 22,000 and let's just kind of pull this up. All right, we are from Mississippi 89 miles. Actually a pretty good descent rate here. As we approach New Orleans. Oh, we are just not gonna get a break with these storms, are we? I'm gonna try something here. Hang on. They are not this. I'm starting to wonder if this is old weather from the time I set my sim to. Huh, interesting. Thought I read somewhere. I'm going to have to go back after the flight. Check that out. You make it look so easy. Well, drama won. It isn't actually as hard as you think in this plane. If you keep two things in mind with it. if you're used to flying airliners, hang on, these FMCs look exactly like an Airbus. The only difference is the takeoff approach button. So if you know how to fly an Airbus, you've gotten about 40% of the way there just in getting these programmed. Then when you look up here, now it's not in the same kind of way Airbus does it, but it's very Airbus-esque. And like I said, if you can figure out an Airbus 300, I'm pretty sure this airplane is not modeled after it, but very similar. Although I don't think Airbus ever put, not that button, this into it, the dial-a-flap. That's right, 1-800 dial-a-flap. Don't know what McDonnell Douglas was smoking that day. Now, I have just, I think, saw on another person's stream, the MD-80 has it as well. So I don't know who came up with this concept, but it is sure hilarious. We're going to have dial-a-flap. Basically how it works, real quick, you set your initial flap setting, you know, you have 5, 15, 10, 20, whatever. You set it here up to 28. Your first notch deploys slat, second notch, whatever dial-a-flap is set at. And no, you don't call 1-800 dial-a-flap. That's just me having so much fun with this. It does feel like an infomercial looking at this plane. But anyway, all kidding aside, it's really not very difficult to fly. The quirks we kind of went over in the beginning with the takeoff CG and the loading of it. Nothing super outrageously, you know, off the rail, but still nonetheless. 1-800 dial-a-flap. Gotta love it. Now you know why Boeing went and got McDonnell Douglas, to get them to quit smoking whatever they were smoking. All right. I think once we get past this cell, we might, and I don't think I see it ahead of us. We'll find out. All right, we're approaching 10,000, so we're going to begin to slow down. Now, that's what the spoilers look like armed. You'll see the red flag here. We forgot to do that, hence all of those bells and whistles sounding on takeoff. But if you just use the arrows, guess what? All you're doing is deploying the spoilers. And my apologies to the passengers. Turbulence just made it impossible to turn the seatbelt sign back off. Actually, I'm going to slow us even more. What are we now? 30 miles? Yeah, I think that's good for now. All right, I'm going to go ahead, kill the music. Okay, let me come on, I just need one. There we go. Okay, get those armed. Now, a neat feature, and I don't know how it works, the middle gear in the back, you got 3 gear on the ground, will automatically deploy sometimes as a slowdown method. How they get it to do that, I don't know. But I did see it once on a FedEx flight that I did, and it's kind of neat. Now, if you're ever curious about what frequency is tuned in, if it's not in there yet, we're looking for 1095. You can always put it in. And course 044. KNBG. It's in. Now, when you look at, you'll see it is just 30 miles out. Tuned in, ready to go. It will eventually tune it in. You just may have to get close. Looks like we have a cell. I sure don't see it. Maybe up that way? Maybe. That's weird. Now, just like most Airbuses, your nav radios, also the 767 automated, you have to set your frequency. Most of the Boeings out there, minus the 74, you have to do that. 400 and -8. 777, I think, does it itself too. So we can go back now to perf and see our number, and one last check of our numbers. Approach speeds 154. I'm going to go ahead, deploy our slats. Auto brake is set to medium, right? Yes. And we're ready. Still no a nice thing, it does tell you no glide slope, no localizer as of yet. We've still got to get up on it. When we come over Missib, we'll be 13 miles out. Goal 2,000 feet. And I think we'll make it. Just a couple of miles out, I will set 180 on the speed, deploy flaps from dial-a-flap, 15, and then the gear. And again, disregard this. This aircraft, that was not possible to do. You could have gone a different way with coordinates. But I just went sat to PEKON to here. And I used the airway between San Antonio and PEKON. Other aircraft, this would have worked, just not this one. I'm not sure what the correct format would have been. But I'm sure there is a way to put it in that way. Okay, we are 7 miles. Let's go ahead. Start the slowdown. "32 minutes ago, altimeter I forgot to set 3015. Okay, localizer and glide slope you can see now are available. Approach land, arms them both. All right. Okay, and with that, let's slow. Okay, preferring 149 for the landing speed and 154 approach. For a second, I thought I had the run. Actually, I'm not certain yet. Okay, I've got flaps 35 set, spoilers arm, brakes arm 4 green. We're good to come in. No, that's not our runway. If it is, we are seriously crabbing. Okay, lights are on, seatbelts on, auto brake, nothing showing. Cool. And we got a cloud in the way. That's the problem. Here comes the glide slope. Slowed to 160. We're going to slow to 150. $123.8. Joint Reserve Base, New Orleans, reach 18, approximately 5-mile final for runway 4. My plane? Unfortunately, it doesn't fly like an Airbus. And Joint Reserve Base New Orleans, 3-mile final, runway 4, reach 18. Landing.
Glide slope, 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 glide slope.
And there we have it. A little rough. That looks like the good thing. The APU's already running. And Joint Reserve Base New Orleans, reach 18's off runway 4 to the ramp. Figure that out in a second. There it goes. Spoiler can be really touchy. Okay, let's taxi to the ramp. Sorry about all of that, folks. Just trying to get things squared away. Radar off here. Guess we got to turn it off down here first. Now we can shut them down up here. Okay, like I said, APU's already running. Any ice can be turned off. All right, folks, sorry for the quietness there. Just trying to get this plane there. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the nicely done there, Drama 11. Appreciate you. Really do. And off here. And let's get the other two shut down. However, I think first I'm going to play it safe. Get that external power just on the outside. Something doesn't go as planned. We know that never happens. Okay, looks like we are on. Okay, so all the engines are off. And just going through the secure seatbelts, exterior, IRS, emergency power. Okay, let's there we have it. All right, World Air Cargo on the ground. Okay, let's check in. IREP filed. I wonder how Mac Air gets the information up here. Just making sure. Okay, Sim Air Force has me at actually 253 feet a minute. Hallelujah. All right, we'll take it. All right, and that is great news. All right, so I don't think anyone put in for the prediction. Yeah, no winners. All right. Well, we're here in Joint Air Reserve Base, New Orleans. Let's take a look at Elevatech. They got us at 581, 150. Wow. Wow. A lot different. And the one I like to go by, Sim Toolkit. It's the one you saw on the screen, $4.99. It's like, yeah, I'll go more with that. Just because, I mean, I know it bounced. So I know $4.99. That's not too bad. I thought we were slower than that, but I guess not. So I have to be more cognizant of that. Now, why do I use Sim Toolkit? Some ask. Here's the reason. You don't get a lot of, you get some of this information right here. That doesn't really tell you how you screwed up a landing or how you aced it, greased it, however you want to say it, and where did you actually touch down at. To me, that's just as important as the landing performance numbers. And in this case, we were 1,000 feet down the runway. That's where you want to be in the US. 2.5 feet off that center line, even better. Now, one thing I did not notice, and what you see here is what's known as a carrier practice landing. They actually have a Fresnel lens, which they use on the carriers, like we use PAPIs, VATSIMs on land. They use this Fresnel lens. You've heard it. If you've watched the movie Maverick, you've heard Maverick call the ball. Ball. There you go. That's what they land with. And that's what this little runway is all about. All right, so here's some additional information you don't get with the others. We were on a heading of 46. We should have been 44. I think I was crabbing for, there shouldn't have really been a wind, but yet there seemed to be one. Pitch was 6. That's good. Roll, again, slight. So, I mean, we came in hot, but hey, we still got a good landing right on the mark. And to me, overall, not a bad landing. I know, teacher's pet. So anyway, well, we're going to call it tonight. Drama 1-1. That was a great event. Look forward to next week, and or if not, whenever the next one is. And I hope you all join us tomorrow. We have a fun flight planned. Of course, I don't have it situated in front of me. I'm coming off VATSIM. Let's see. Tomorrow, if you haven't checked already, down below, we start the day off in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'll let you all look below now to see where that's going to be. Then we're going to hop the ocean and fly a flight at least out of Glasgow, if not back to Glasgow. But again, check down below, and you're going to enjoy this. Both flights are going to be fun. Not the second flight a little more challenging than the first, but ought to be fun. So I hope you all have had a wonderful time on this flight. I know I sure have. We're in an ad break, so I'm kind of stretching it out a little. While we're doing that, let me look. See if there's anyone out there that I could hand this off to. Not really. All right, well, we'll be out of the break here in a couple of seconds. All right, those of you that were in the break, welcome back. We're wrapping things up. We had a pretty good flight. You probably saw them there in the little window. Hope you all join us tomorrow. Scottsdale, Arizona is where we'll start, followed by a second flight out of Glasgow, Scotland. So, got an interesting flight that 1.4 has given us. So, with X-Plane. All right, so I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. And we shall see you tomorrow, hopefully around 11 o'clock. God bless you all. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. You all have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow.